Hi Craig, Andrew Saville here from TV1 Sports News. Look, I just wanted to send my good luck, best wishes and support for what you're doing. I think this is absolutely remarkable and is going to be a staggering achievement for a New Zealand sportsman. Okay, you are going to conquer America, there's no doubt about it. A true Kiwi inspiration. Good luck and Godspeed.
We'll move on to Craig Harper. So tell us, Craig, how does a carpenter end up being ready to race across America?
A passion of cycling and following one's dream and believing in yourself.
Whakatake te ao ki te uru, whakatake te ao ki te tonga. Kia mā kina ka uta, ki tarekare te kai, e ki ake ana te atukura, e tio, e hoka, e te hauhanga. Tihei mori ora. I think it's pretty apt because of the adventure that we're all about to head on to. So get ready for the westerly, but be prepared for the southerly. It will be icy and cold inland, and maybe icy cold on the shore. May the dawn rise red-tipped on the ice, the snow, the frost, and the ground. Behold the breath of life. There we have it.
Awesome.
Very nice.
You've got 3 guesses.
He's a Kiwi.
Oh, yeah, she knew.
Next up, Mr. Craig Harper from New Zealand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, Craig.
So I guess you're wondering what might be going through Craig's mind right now, you know, within the first 10, 15 miles of the race. I think relief is probably one thing that springs to mind. He's, you know, this has been a dream of his for a while now, a year in planning, and plus perhaps, and you know, all the frenetic nature of the crew getting everything done, jobs everywhere, but actually as the rider it's sort of like, okay, finally I'm on my bike and I'm actually can focus on just riding and pedaling, and yeah, I think it's a big relief. It's sort of like, okay, I've been, you know, the nervous tension, the pre-race jitters, all that sort of stuff will just melt away now that the gun's gone off.
It's kind of amazing being at a time like this, because just for the last not sort of 60 minutes or so, when we've been sort of hanging out as a support crew, you start reflecting on what it takes to get here. And last night over dinner we had a chat about how getting to the start line is sometimes the hardest challenge. You know, people are running around, crazy sort of things happening with nutrition or mechanical, you know, everything. But this morning, Craig just seemed so relaxed. It's almost like a breath of fresh air before you start, and then the gun goes. It's all good.
We're back. Hi there, you all good? We are.
Has 3 different types of bikes with him. They're all specialised bikes. For climbing we have a tarmac set up really light tyres, light tubes, fast as we can get him up the hill. We also have another tarmac set up with really robust tyres for where the roads are really rough and horrible, and a low climbing gear if needed. Then we move on to an aero road bike, so more flat rolling country type bike, keeps the speed up. So it's in between the tarmac and the third bike that he has, which is a shiv for like time trialing, lying down right over the bike, very aero, very fast in the right conditions. Absolutely amazing for that.
It's now 10:20 in the morning, and sounds a bit like a weather bulletin, but it's 103 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 38 degrees Celsius by our counting. It's forecast to get into the mid-40s, probably around 44, 45, and you know, if it's this sort of temperature at 10 in the morning, who knows what it's going to be.
So we're here at Congress. It's been a brutal day so far for every rider. Craig's just finished one time station here. He's about to head up to Varnell. Down the road here, turn left, and it's straight up. We've just put a nice vest on him. We want that to get him up there.
It's about 40 degrees plus.
My Garmin says 47.
47, so hot. So we put on the ice vest for him to cool him down. He's doing really well. Got his compression stockings on, help his legs.
This morning we wake up, we're in Flagstaff. I can see a bit of snow up on the hills. The puffer's out. Craig's pretty cold. He's just about to come in from a ride all night. This will be his first scheduled sleep, so he's about to go down for an hour to an hour 15 sleep for the first time since he started, and warming up will obviously be a priority once he gets off his bike. So he's into the shower in the RV, he's down onto his bed, and then he has his inflatable recovery things that go on his leg to squeeze some of the fluids out of his legs back up into his core body. So yeah, amazing puffers this morning, and next to nothing yesterday. In fact, there were a couple of people from a crew running around in budgie smugglers on the side of the road cheering their rider on.
Okay, so it's been a massive 12 hours for Craig. I'm feeling like a wreck, as the rest of the crew. Can't even imagine what he's feeling at the moment. He's just gone to bed himself down for maybe 60 minutes of sleep. He's been going for almost 40. Last 12 hours have been huge for him. It started in a supermarket car park, a huge big supermarket 12 hours ago. Here we are in another supermarket at the next check-in station. In between times, over 100 miles, there's been 10,000 feet of climbing for him. Exhausting work, and there were some pretty dark times that Craig had to dig himself out of, but he's an incredibly brave man. All that we can do as a support crew are try and motivate him, and what we did last night was to change part of our outfits. So it's the best I could do.
Yeah, you definitely have times when some self-doubt comes in, but at the end of the day, you've really basically just got to just grit your teeth and get on with it if you really want to do it, because the only other option is quitting, really. And so if you keep it simple between quitting and getting stuck on with it, then it gives you a pretty simple choice, really.
here in Colorado, and this is Wolf Creek Pass, 10 miles, 10,800 feet. And here's our own Craig Harper, Solo.kiwi, race across America. He's coming up to the final. He's less than a mile to the top. He's had to draw on everything. And here he is. Keep it up, Craig. The highest point in all of the race. And crossing the main divide shortly. 10 miles of climbing, up to 10% gradient. This has been brutal. And he just keeps on going. Far out. Gee, jogging alongside him's a mission. Time to get back into the car.
Up in the snow, it's amazing. So we've had temperatures from 46 degrees Celsius down to below zero. So we're battling all sorts of conditions, which is amazing.
Still got our shorts on though. Still got our shorts on.
Hi Craig, it's Kieran Reid here, All Blacks captain. Mate, your ride is an inspiration to us and we are absolutely blown away by your courage and determination. Keep on going, buddy. You've got this and we are right behind you. 1 mile at a time. All the best from me and the All Blacks family. Cheers, mate.
The support crew is everything. It's my lifeline, really. When you're participating in an ultra endurance sport like this, that is supported, it's your lifeline. You hand over all decision making and responsibility to the crew. So my crew of 9 were vital. It was vital that they got on as people and that they did the job for me as needed. In my support crew of 7 Kiwis and two Brits were awesome. I couldn't have asked for better support. They both as friends and professionally and as a crew did their jobs as all around the clock, 24 hours a day. So it was tough for them just as well as it was tough for me. So yeah, this was SOLO.kiwi campaign, but it was definitely a New Zealand team performance.
Tell us again how long it took to ride the length of New Zealand.
4 days, 9 hours, 45 minutes.
Mate, since you've started, you've ridden the length of New Zealand in 3 days, 21 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh, and I've probably climbed a heap more hills too, I'd say.
More, and you've got more to go.
And probably no spots in New Zealand that were 46 degrees for the whole day.
No, that's right, yeah. Or 2 degrees at night.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, congrats, man.
Thank you.
Another length to go.
Yeah, look up that road. It's a long, straight road to nowhere.
Keep going.
The other thing we do every stop, like we are at the moment, when Craig has a quick sleep or anything, any bike that he's used gets cleaned, clean all the drive chain, all the grit off everything, the jockey wheels, everything we can.
And there's a route change for the next one.
Oh yeah, 35.
Yeah.
After in that dull, we might be in there.
Great progress, mate.
I'll keep going and go.
He digs deep, man. He digs really deep. You know, a lot of the footage we see and a lot of the photography we see and a lot of the chat is all very positive and you know, it's amazing and we all love it. But when you're in the thick of it with him, the shit that guy deals with is just unbelievable. You know, some examples. A couple of days ago, we just started our shift sitting in behind him, and I was talking to Craig through the microphone in his helmet. I was in the car. I said, "Hey mate, how are you?" And he said, "Do you really want to know?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "I can't put any pressure on my feet. I can't put any pressure on my hands. I can't put any pressure on my ass. and the rain's running down my back. And I was like, well, what do you say to that? You know, you're sitting behind the guy in a car, and I was lost for words, because you're like, that does not sound fun. That's just pure suffering. But there's obviously a deeper need that drives them to do that, and we're all inspired by it. So how do you not have massive respect for someone that does that?
Another big day after the rain, torrential rain and heavy winds last night. We've got a really beautiful day. Problem is, it's full of lots of climbs. So we've just come from Cumberland to Hancock. This is getting toward the pointy end, and it's aptly so because these big 5 climbs that Craig's just had to go up. You can see them here. Some are about 8%, 9% climbs, and if you're a cyclist, you know that that's not easy.
Yeah, resilience is he's just got it in spades, you know, like the stuff you see on a daily basis with him is, you know, the highs and lows. Like 1 minute he'll be singing to himself on his bike, drumming with his hands because he's high on life and things are great, and literally 10 minutes later it can all fall apart and he's lying on the side of the road on the mattress sleeping because he's wrecked. And so I guess that's where the crew plays a part, where we're responsible for keeping them safe. But just seeing how quickly things can go from great to terrible, and when it's terrible, most people probably throw the towel in. But he just boxes on through terrible, and eventually it becomes great again. And that happens hourly or 2 hourly, and over the course of 10 days, there's been a heap of highs and lows. So his ability to just keep working through that and silently suffer and push on he's a very, very unique individual in that respect. The one area that it just breaks my heart every time I see it, and you see it every time he sleeps, is he's sleep deprived. If he has to sleep, he goes down for an hour, he goes into a massive deep sleep, and then it's time to get up and go again. And it's actually awful, and it feels cruel because his brain's trying to shut him down, and we're trying to help him wake up. And when he finally does wake up, his body doesn't want to get on the bike, but his brain does. And sort of seeing him have to coax himself through that, and us mentally and physically help him along that journey, that's really character defining. And for me, like that shows how tough he is, because most people would just roll over and go, no, I'm done.
Yeah! Yeah, baby! Craig, so Craig, you've made it, mate? What's going through your mind?
It's been a long morning, really. But no, yeah, we're here. We're pretty stoked. What a day! It's just magic. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We've had just so much support and stuff, and it's been one hell of a week, really. We've had some pretty massive highs and lows, and but we've endured it all. And we've had an amazing group of people, crew, and of course mascot Solo, who's hasn't come through it unscathed at all. He's taken a wound or two, like us all.
So geographically, we've been over the main divide.
Yeah.
West coast to east coast. You talk about getting through some pretty tough times. What is it that's got you through those really dark moments?
Oh, having the I think having you guys, having the great support crew I've had alongside me to help talk through stuff and that. You know, you've all been a part of this journey. It hasn't just been me riding, so yeah, it's having a great team right here. It's played a massive part, so it's definitely helped me get through.